Hey guys, Schuyler here, and in this short video I'm just going to talk about one of the most common questions I get in real estate, and that is, when is the best time to sell my house? I hear that a lot over the past 20 years, and that's a good question, and hopefully by the end of this video and you hear my 2 cents worth, it'll help you to determine whether it's the right time for you guys to sell. When people ask me that question, it's kind of funny because I think I've kind of learned over the past 20 years to ask them why they're selling. I think, more often than not, the reason why you're selling is usually the determining factor as to whether it's the right time to sell or not. The best time to sell is a completely another story. The best time to sell might be spring. It might be October, if you look at the stats and the market trends and things like that to see inventory levels and listing to pending ratios and things like that. The best time to sell from an analytical point of view might be completely different. But most of the time, the reason why people are selling is because of a life change. And so that would be my first question back to you, is if you're looking for, is there a better time of the year to sell than others? Is spring the best time to sell, or when should I list my house for sale on the market? For instance, life-changing situations. You have a new baby, and you need that extra room, or there's a death in the family, or a loss of job, which means you have a curtailment of your income, or possibly your kids went off to college and you don't need that much room anymore. Maybe the property is just too big and it's too much for you to keep up, or maybe you're facing foreclosure. Those type of things are the determining factors to whether you're going to have motivation to list your house and take action. On the other hand, somebody that's more analytical and they're an empty nester maybe and don't need to sell their house, they have no mortgage, the house is paid off, so there's no stress there, there's no job change, and there's no relocation. It's just kind of a want more than a need. For that type of person, I say look at the market a little bit differently. Look at selling a little bit differently, and maybe be a little bit more selective as to when you put your house on the market. Right off the top, most people would say, if you ask them, and I want to ask you guys too, there's a form below. I'd love to see your comments, what you think is the best time of the year to sell your house, because that's important to me to understand and to engage with the community here in Roseburg. But when you think about listing, most people, I think, would probably say spring. It's pretty, it's getting dry, it's getting warmer. The flowers are coming up. Curb appeal alone, that's a great time to list your house. For pictures, for videos, all that kind of stuff. It's really a nice time, especially in the Pacific Northwest where we live. However, there might be some drawbacks as well. We oftentimes see a real loading of the RMLS, which is our multiple listing service, right around the springtime. Why is that? Because everybody thinks springtime is the time to put your house on the market. And so we see a lot of homes typically hit the market in the spring. We're coming up pretty close to the spring right now. So if you want to beat that crazy listing madness of listing and competing with all those homes that are going to be hitting the market, I'd say list your house now. or maybe wait and see what's going to happen in the spring. The homes I've been listing lately have been selling very, very quickly, so you'd have a good chance of selling anyway. I don't want to tell you now is the perfect time to list your house. However, understanding some market data, this is what you need to ask your agent before you hire somebody to list your house. You want to ask them, how is the market trending? Are prices going up? Are they going down? Do we have more inventory on the market now than we did 12 months ago? How about last month, the month before? How's the market trending? How are inventory levels trending? Because all that comes into play for your bottom dollar, for your price. Obvious supply and demand reasons, if there are a lot of houses on the market, that's a good thing for buyers, not necessarily for sellers. The more product there is, the more the buyers have to choose from, and that typically is going to bring your price down just a little bit. Prices have been doing pretty well, but these are just some questions to ask your agent before you jump into the selling boat, and list your house for sale. So other things are, listing to pending ratios, listing to sold ratios. You want to know what the average listing price is and selling price is in your neighborhood. All these are going to help you determine whether it's the right time for you to sell or not. If you have a need and you're relocating, or if you're about ready to lose your house to foreclosure, now is the time to get your house on the market. You don't want to wait until the last minute. You don't want to wait till all that inventory hits the market in the springtime. Like I said, we're getting pretty close to that time frame. We're going to start seeing a lot more homes hit the market here anytime And I'd say go ahead and do it now if you're thinking you're going to do it. I do know that a recent poll with the NAR, that's the National Association of Realtors, came out, and they polled a ton of home sellers or potential home sellers, people that were thinking about selling over the past few years. 70% of them think this could be the year to do that. So you're probably going to see a lot of homes hit the market in Douglas County coming up through the spring and through the summer. So my advice to the sellers on the fence is go ahead and do it. Just put your house on the market. If you have a need to sell, you need more room, you need to scale back, whatever it is, it really is a good time to sell. You've heard interest rates are low, but they're trying to bump them. The lower the rates are, the more house a buyer can afford, which means we can normally net you a little bit more at close of escrow with the lower interest rates, even for the buyer. So hope this information helps. If you have any questions, please contact me at roseburghomesforsale.com. My direct number to the office is 541-492-3647. Leave me a comment below this video. If you're on my website, leave me a comment below. I'd like to hear what you think and what you think is the best time of year to sell as well. So anyway, happy selling. If you need help, you're ready to list your house, give me a shout. I'd love to help you out. Again, it's roseburghomesforsale.com. Happy selling.